What's up, everyone? It's Cowdy with MoneyVest. So in this video, we are going to be talking about Amgen, ticker symbol AMGN. We're going to do a complete analysis on this company, go over exactly what it does, and go over the fundamental analysis, going over the intrinsic value, and of course the technical analysis as well. As always, if you enjoy this video, find it helpful, make sure that you drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again, links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining and getting access to all the members-only private videos. We do have a couple more spots left that I've opened up, 16% annual discount that's available. And I've extended the sale for Martin Luther King Day for our courses, and coupon code is going to be MLK. It's only 3 letters. This does expire tonight. Individual courses are going to be 60% off, so fundamentals, technicals, options, and psychology, up to 60% off, and the full course bundle is going to be 70% off with the coupon code, once again, MLK. I've extended it for one more day, so it expires tonight at midnight, so take advantage of it while it's still here. So when it comes to Amgen, as we already know, they have presence in over 100 countries worldwide, and they are mostly focused on pharmaceuticals, medicines, and have reached millions of people in the fight against serious illnesses. We focus on 6 therapeutic areas such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, and many others. Our medicines typically address diseases for which there are limited treatments alternatives, or they are medicines that provide a viable option to what is otherwise available as well. And these right here are going to be some of their best known products that, again, do cure and treat a lot of those serious illnesses that we went over. Now, comparison of the Amgen stock. So we have seen somewhat of decent outperformance in the last 5 years. It's kind of tracked the S&P 500 more or less, but it has somewhat performed slightly better than the overall S&P 500. And when it comes to the third quarter 2023, product sales grew over 5%. So it's a little bit of a value stock because it does have a pretty good dividend yield. We're looking at around almost 3% dividend yield with a market cap of just about $163 billion, with a very nice, consistent uptrend for Amgen. I mean, this has just been a phenomenal trend higher since 2011, 2012. It's just been on a consistent uptrend. It has not yet broken down below its 200 simple moving average on the weekly time frame. So it's done obviously really well. And record quarterly sales for 7 products, delivered a double-digit volume growth in third quarter for a number of products, and of course 11% year-over-year volume sales growth, partially offset by 3% lower net selling price and 3% unfavorable changes to estimated sales and deductions as well. Now, when it comes to the established products, generated almost $600 million of sales and delivered strong cash flow for the company. And this right here were the overall financials for third quarter. They are going to, of course, report for fourth quarter here very soon, but revenue came in at just under $7 billion, increase of over 4%. Product revenue is up 5%. We did see cost of sales up a little bit, actually down 13%. And then, of course, 17.4% increase on a year-over-year basis. And then finally, we got non-GAAP EPS coming in at just under $5 per share, $4.96 to be precise. And that was up a little bit over 6% on a year-over-year basis. And shares outstanding sitting roughly around 538 million shares for Amgen. Now, when it comes to balance sheet and cash flow data, $2.5 billion in third quarter 2023 in terms of cash flows. Then we've got share repurchases. They didn't do any share repurchases in the third quarter 23. Dividend increase of 10%. Dividends paid per share $2.13, with cash and investments sitting at $34.7 billion and debt sitting at over $60 billion. So, of course, not the best balance sheet, but it is somewhat decent. And this right here is the guidance from Amgen: $28 to $28.4 billion in revenue, non-GAAP EPS of $18.20 to $18.80. So let's just round it up to $18.50. Let's just take that middle guidance, $18.50, and the price is trading at $305. So we are looking at a price earnings multiple of 16.4 right now for Amgen. So actually quite reasonable, quite decent price to earnings multiple valuation for the company. Now, when it comes to the therapeutic area, in 2022, the global oncology market was estimated at $215 billion, while the global hematology market was around $88 billion. These provide glimpses into the potential size of the TAM for Amgen's key areas. And some analysts estimate Amgen's TAM to be around $80 billion currently, with potential to reaching $100 billion by 2030. And Amgen's own outlook during 2023 Virtual Business Review, Amgen acknowledged the growing addressable market in areas like small cell lung cancer, citing 70,000 potential patients across major markets as well. So definitely when it comes to pharmaceutical, medicine, treatment, illnesses, therapeutic areas, there's definitely going to be an ever-growing market because this is a market, this is very, very essential, and it's very necessary for folks all over the world as well. This right here is going to be the revenues, $18 billion, increasing to over 25, almost $26 billion here. Gross profit going from 15.3 to a little bit under $20 billion, and operating income going from 6.1 to over 9.6, almost $10 billion for the company. That's actually pretty good margins for the company as well. If you take a look at net income, $5 billion, increasing to a little bit over 7.5. We've got diluted earnings per share from $6.64 to over $14, and they're estimated for over $18 this year. And shares outstanding has been going down from 765 to now 538 million. Very, very strong cash buybacks here, share buybacks, and of course dividend per share also consistently increasing from $1.88 to now $8.33 for the company. So there's a lot to like here for this company. Of course, balance sheet's not the best. $34 to $35 billion of cash, a little bit over $60 billion of debt, and as a result, we're looking at current ratio, quick ratio that's a little bit over 2, and of course, debt to free cash flow a little bit over 9. So current ratio is good, quick ratio is good. Balance sheet is okay. Net debt is definitely high at over $25 billion, and debt to free cash flow also pretty high at over 3 times what we prefer for this number to be at under 3. Now, valuation-wise, as we discussed earlier, quite reasonable at 16 to 18 times earnings multiple, price to sales at 5 to 6, and price to cash flow 14 to 15 times. So I would say that it is quite reasonable at its valuation right now, despite even the significant increase that we have seen in the stock price. And this right here are the margins, which again are pretty solid. We're looking at 73% gross margins, net margins of 28, 29, almost 30%, free cash flow margins 33%, return on total capital, equity, and assets also pretty solid for the company. So there's a lot to like. Balance sheet's the only thing that's kind of a little bit not that great, but that is something that, of course, can be improved over time, and the company does have pretty solid dividends to compensate for that as well, because they are paying out a lot of dividends each year. Now, when it comes to earnings expectation, they're expected to grow from $18.55 this year all the way to $23. So there's not a lot of growth priced into the stock, because as we know that Amgen is at the end of the day a very much of a value stock, so the expected earnings growth is only 4.46% over the next 5 years for the company. So if we take into account, let's say 538 times 1850, so we are looking at around almost $10 billion in net income for the company, right? So $10 billion, if we plug that in, 5% growth rate, P multiple of 16, and we're going with a discount rate of, let's say, 9.5%, or let's just do 9% because the company does pay out a pretty decent 3% dividend yield. And we've got a share dilution of, let's say, negative 1.5. We are looking at a fair value, an intrinsic value of $240 per share. $240, considering that it's trading at 305, we're looking at least a 21% pullback. And this is perfect. This is actually perfect because that intrinsic value of 240 aligns really well with almost that 200 SMA. So the next time this stock drops down to that 200 SMA, you most certainly want to keep it on your watch list, because this is a stock that's validated at 200 SMA time and time and time again. I mean, this has been happening once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, so many times. It's kind of validated that support really well. And this right here, like I said, is going to be that support at $244 per share for Amgen. So keep that in mind. This is a stock that I believe is going to have a lot of potential opportunity long term, and like I said, $240, $250 is going to be that support level to watch, with of course the 200 SMA sitting roughly at 220, 230 for Amgen. Of course, right now it's a very, very overbought, so I'd be very careful considering Amgen at these prices. But like I said, keep this on your watch list, keep this on your radar for when it does drop down to those levels at the higher low, sitting roughly at 225 to as much as 230, 240s. So hope you all enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below for Amgen, and what do you think? Are you buying, selling, or holding? I would love to know from you guys as well. As always, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also do check out the links down below for Discord, for Patreon, and for the courses. 70% off on the full four course bundle, and individual courses up to 60% off. This is again the biggest sale of the year. Coupon code MLK does expire tonight after midnight, so link's going to be down below. And as always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.